Okay, students, I want to um, have a conversation with you on the nature of the argumentative essay. I want to discuss what is it, its fundamental elements, and how to write a good and effective, even a strong argumentative essay. A lot of things that I would be saying here, some of it will be uh, a review for you since you have done the reading that I have assigned last week. But I do want to bring some clarity. I want to bring some clarity just in case you need some instructional guidelines, some instructional hints to help you in the process. Okay. Now, let's begin with the term. I have assigned in the reading that I have assigned, you should have seen a definition for argument. Okay, what is an argument? Uh, which was on page 120 in our book. Okay, I have it signed page 120 to page 131. Okay, but what I'm gonna give you, okay, the information I'm gonna share with you, I have drawn information from different sources to help you understand. Well, an argumentative essay is a special category of writing that requires the writer or the student to investigate a topic. You investigate the topic, you collect data, you generate an argument, and you also have to evaluate the evidence that you have gained from the sources you've utilized. Okay? So it's a special type of writing that requires the writer to study a topic, to explore a topic. You collect, you generate, you evaluate the evidence that's available to you, and eventually you establish a position on the topic that you have chosen. In other words, you articulate a claim on the topic in a concise manner. Now, some people have um, conflicted, or they see a confusion between the argumentative essay and the expository essay. These are two different genres, they're two different types of writing. Okay? Although they are similar, but they're different. Okay? And they're different in nature. For example, the argumentative essay is commonly assigned as a final project in a course, whereas the expository essay is not. It involves less research. The argumentative essay requires a level of research. It requires interaction with sources and so forth. When you make an argument, you have to have a thesis statement. In other words, the structure of the argumentative essay it is held together by a number of elements. A thesis statement that is clearly defined in the introductory paragraph. As you know, a thesis statement makes a claim. It expresses the position you are taking. Okay, whether you believe social media in general, whether we're talking about Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, cause more harm to our mental health. Or if you believe those different types, categories of social media do more good to our mental health. So you have to take a position and you have to use one sentence, what we call a thesis statement, to express your position. You make a value judgment. Remember, okay, the thesis statement is placed at the very end of the introduction, which is the first paragraph. So in the first paragraph, you should set the context by reviewing the topic in a general way, okay? And you should explain why this topic is significant. Whether you're talking about how different types or categories of social media cause more harm to our mental health, or whether you're talking about how different categories of social media cause more good to our mental health, you have to explain to the reader why the topic is important and why the reader should be concerned about the issue at stake. Okay? And finally, is your thesis statement. Your thesis statement establishes the value, the judgment you're making or you will be making in the entire essay. The second item that holds, okay, that establishes a strong argumentative essay includes, okay, clear and logical transitions between the intro, body, and conclusions. Some people call transitions the mortar that holds the foundation of the essay. When you move from one paragraph to another, you have to use transitions. Transitions are little words like however, therefore, thus, consequently, by contrast, on one hand, on the other hand. We're talking about adverbs, or they could be signal phrases or phrases, but most likely a transition would be an adverb. So make sure you use the transition from one paragraph to another, so your ideas, okay, your written words, your logical reasoning could flow, okay, by using clear and logical transitions. The next structure and your argumentative essay consists of body paragraphs. The body paragraphs, you're going to write body paragraphs to support or to make an argument. For example, each paragraph should be limited to the discussion of one general idea. What does that mean? Each paragraph begins with a topic sentence. That topic sentence is one of the ideas that is connected to the big idea in your essay, what we call the thesis statement. Okay, let's say if you have like 5 paragraphs, 6, 7 paragraphs, you want to make sure each paragraph begins with the idea to be discussed in that paragraph itself. Remember, when you're writing an argumentative essay, you can have subcategories, okay, the subcategories, and you take each one of those categories to frame your paragraph, okay? And I've given you 2 examples. I have assigned 2 simple essays in your book. So you see, you understand the structure of the argumentative essay, the frame and how it is framed. I strongly encourage you to go back to the book, to week 4, and review those 2 essays, that I have assigned for you. So remember, the structure of a paragraph begins in the following way. First, you articulate a topic sentence that the idea, the paragraph will be covered. Second, you cite the evidence. The topic sentence is not the supporting detail or the evidence. Topic sentence, that's number 1. Number 2, you present the evidence. Number 3, you explain what the evidence is. Number 4, you close with a reflective sentence or 2 reflective sentences. I mentioned before, a paragraph has to be 5 to 6 full sentences. Again, your topic sentence is 1 sentence. It cannot be a question or a citation. Number 2, the evidence. Number 3, you explain. Because when you're writing a paper, you are a teacher. You are teaching your audience, your readers, about a topic. Okay? Therefore, you have to explain what your evidence is. You do it through the technology of writing. Because I want to know what your thoughts are, your ideas are, your ability to explain. Okay? So I want you to conclude each paragraph with a reflective analysis, reflective thought. Do not conclude a paragraph with a citation or a quotation from a source. Make it your own words. Okay? So far I talked about the paragraph must have a strong, a concise, a clear thesis statement. Number 2, I talk about clear and logical transitions. Number 3, I talked about strong body paragraph, how paragraph should be used. Now, the argumentative essay requires well-researched accurate, detailed, and correct information to support the thesis statement or the claim you are making. Okay? It's very important. Your argument is based on factual, logical, okay, evidence. In other words, factual, logical, or statistics, excuse me, I'm sorry, statistical arguments or pieces of evidence are very important to justify your claim. Remember, when you're making an argument, you have to consider multiple points of view, or multiple perspectives. If you are making an argument for how social media, whether you're talking about Facebook, Twitter, or TikTok, cause more good to our mental health, it's important to acknowledge what others have said, the contrary to your position. That is how social media may cause more harm to our mental health. You cannot, in an argumentative essay, you cannot decide not to interact with the position that contradicts yours. You have to acknowledge it in your argument. That's part of your argument. Okay? And you have to show how you differ from that opposing view that contradicts your thesis statement. Okay? Now, the last part of your argument is your conclusion. The conclusion does not simply restate the thesis, but it readdresses it in light of the evidence you have provided. The evidence you have provided should be used to strengthen, okay, your argument, to clarify your conclusion. You don't just restate you just rewrite what you have stated, but you bring greater clarity. You show your reader the importance of embracing your perspective. You can also alert your readers what could happen if they do not embrace your perspective. Also remember, you may have learned this from 1301, English 1301. In the introduction, you do not introduce any new information, okay? Your goal is to synthesize the information you've already presented in your body paragraphs. Okay, so it's important why you are restating the topic. Don't just restate it. Say why you're doing it. Okay? And why you are reviewing your main points. Why you are reviewing your thesis statement. That's how you write a good, strong, and logical argumentative essay. In the next instructional video, I will be talking about the three types of rhetorical appeals that are used in an argumentative essay. That will be the next video.